and I'm sitting here in London in Lancaster News with Mike Dooley.
Hey, Nick, good to see you. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you again. So for those of you that already know Mike, he's the producer of daily emails called Notes from the Universe. Nearly 300,000 people get every day. But for those few people that don't know what the Notes from the Universe are, what are they?
Geez, they started about 8-9 years ago. I was at a crossroads in my life. I didn't know what to do next. I liked dabbling with the internet. I was exploring creative writing. I started sending out a Monday morning motivator. I had free time on my hands, so I started sending out silver bullets Tuesday through Friday. And it wasn't until about 7 or 8 months later that I had this idea that I could say more to my readers from a different perspective, perhaps with a different authority, if I wrote as the universe. If I sent my little daily emails out, 1 or 2 sentences, 1 or 2 paragraphs, as the universe. And so I tried it, and it was very well received. At the time, I didn't know that it would become a regular thing. I was just doing the Notes from the Universe on Fridays. But within a few months, I had so much fun writing from that perspective, and people enjoyed it so much that it became a daily thing, and I stopped doing the other types of writing I was doing. And now, 8-9 years later, there's almost 300,000 people, all signed up through word of mouth, who receive a daily note from the universe.
Amazing. Did you ever, just imagining with my British kind of, over humility, to write from the universe with your American
good question.
psyche, did you struggle with that at all, or was it easy?
I struggled massively with that, not just writing from the universe's perspective, but just writing as Mike. Who's Mike? Well, I got my email addresses to begin with from a guest book that people had signed when they visited our T-shirt store in Orlando, Florida. And when the T-shirt business wound down, I still had this database, and I thought, I'd really like to expound on some of these little whimsical poems that I was sending out every Monday to stimulate T-shirt sales. And I thought for weeks, who the heck gives a damn as to what Mike thinks about visualizing or the power of our thoughts and beliefs, etc. I was at a scary time in my life there. I had to do something to eventually perhaps create a cash flow, although the notes are still free to this day. But I wrestled for about a month before I finally had the nerve to say, just go ahead and do it. What do you got to lose? People will sign off. They're not paying for it as it is. And so that's when I got over the hump of writing my viewpoints. And immediately, it's amazing. And I think we all have an audience if we have the courage to speak what we know. It's amazing that the audience was there. They were receptive. People immediately said, I hope you're saving these for a book one day. And so, number one, I liked it, writing. And number two, the readers liked it. So when the time came 8 months later to write as the universe, it really was done tongue-in-cheek. I wasn't trying to be Lord God. I thought I would just say the same kind of messages, but with a brand new perspective, And immediately they were a little bit humorous, because I signed off one of the first ones with, you rock the universe. It's like, that's fun. Nobody could take me too seriously. And so that wasn't such a difficult thing. It wasn't as difficult as writing as Mike Dooley. And it was received well, so I still do it.
And I love that bit you just said about, you believe that if you show up authentically, this is something I talk about a lot, is showing up authentically, that there's a market for it.
It's
most people are kind of saying, well, when there's a market, then I'll show up. But you created a market by showing up.
Right. Follow your heart. It's astounded me. My brother's following in my footsteps to a degree right now. He's a speaker. And as soon as he puts out the notice that he's going to be doing an event somewhere, the audience shows up. It's like the movie, Build It and They Will Come. And they will come. So hang out your shingle, offer your product, go with the feedback, adjust it, tweak it, let it evolve. That's one of my biggest lessons. There can't be this evolution to something like Notes from the Universe without first doing something more humbling or simpler. And my little e-zine for 8 months really didn't grow in subscribers. There was often negative growth. But I kept with it, and then because I kept with it, it evolved to where I had the idea given to me by who knows
The universe.
where, to adjust it, tweak it, right as the universe, and then boom, floodgates open.
Thank you for sharing that bit of wisdom and your own personal experience.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Mike.